Nursultan Nazarbayev paid a working visit to Akmala region. A meeting of governors of three regions, Akmala, Kostanay, and North Kazakhstan, hosted with the participation of the president. Harvesting is underway in the country, so Nursultan Nazarbayev, not by chance, met with the governors of the grain-producing regions. For example, today, 900,000 hectares of grain has been threshed in Akmala region. Nursultan Nazarbayev suggested regional leaders to keep up with the momentum to finish the current harvest by the due date, not to repeat last year's experience when a portion of the grown grain remained under the snow. Despite the rain, a third of the grain has been removed. The president stressed Kazakhstan is one of the world's producers, top with wheat, and should be keeping these positions. The authority of Kazakhstan has risen. Previously in Soviet times, all begged, and we produced our own bread while Moscow used our bread. We couldn't even dream about exporting of our own bread. Now Kazakhstan is known as one of the major grain exporters in the world, but that is not enough. We must move forward and strive to keep these positions.
А теперь вот 8-10 миллионов в мире знают Казахстан как одного из важнейших экспортеров.
According to the Ministry of Agriculture this year, all granaries are upgraded. The quality of wheat will meet all international standards. But the president drew attention to the low labor productivity in the industry. Diversification goes very slowly. In the old manner, exporters traffic abroad grain and the best case flour, but we need to sell products with deep processing.
Аграрному сектору внимание огромное мы уделяем.
We pay great attention to the agrarian sector, and if you can feel it for yourself, that is to raise labor productivity. 25% of the working population works in the village, 45% lives there, and the contribution to the overall economy amounts to 4% only. In Canada, it employs a workforce of 4.4%, but it provides 25% of the country's GDP. What are we worse? We have the same opportunities, don't we?
25% ВВП страны.
This year, Kazakhstan plans to harvest 17 million tons of grain. China was added in addition to the usual markets in Central and Southeast Asia. The president signed during a recent visit to contracts with the largest supply in Kazakhstan. For farmers, it is a good opportunity to realize the surplus at good prices. According to the president, the country needs to create a single scientific and educational center that will unite the whole science. The agriculture is now the leading sector, which should bring a stable income to the country, Nursultan Nazarbayev noted.